But along those lines, for any of our listeners who happen to be single, what advice would you give to those people?
Well, I don't have all the answers on this. I haven't mastered single life. One thing I'm not going to tell you to do is to use this time to serve and give and minister. Because that's the only phrase that churches know to tell us. And so we've heard it 1,000 times before. And, there are better things that we can say to single people. Should we serve and give and minister? Yes. Especially as God leads us specifically. But typically people say that without ever acknowledging the unique path and the unique struggles and the difficulties and disappointments. And so it rings very, very shallow to single people. So, just some basic advice that I would give, just words of encouragement maybe to anyone who is single who's listening, is that marriage is not a reward for good people. It's not something that you achieve. It's not something that you fail to achieve. Marriage is not something that you advance to after you have learned to love God like you should. Marriage adds zero value to who you are as a person. People are going to say the worst things to you and give you the worst advice ever, and it will sting and it will hurt, but don't let it become your truth. That's the first thing I would tell single people. The second one is to build a relationship with God. And, having a relationship with God is going to help you navigate single life much more successfully. And there are some single people who might say, yeah, I really don't want to navigate single life successfully. I just want to get out. So, to those people, I would say building a relationship with God will help you navigate any life more successfully. I've got a whole list here. I'm preaching a little sermon. The third thing I would tell to single people is to the best of your ability, build a community around you. And the older you get, the harder this is, especially in churches. I have been a little disillusioned, I don't know if that's the word, as I've read blogs that have gone around social media lately where some young married pastors' wives have written about, I'm tired of people saying they have a hard time finding friends at church. Just show up, get involved. You'll find a friend just like that. And for single people and older single people, there are 1,000 heavy landmines that you have to get past, heavy things that I'm not going to list here, but it's not quite that easy. So when I say to build community, I understand the issues that go along with it. If you're having a hard time with that, ask God to handpick some friends for you and send them your way. And you might just find that he sends you people that maybe need you even more than you need them. My fourth little piece of advice is to do things. Don't just wait for life to come to you. What do you enjoy? Do that. Travel, art museums, book clubs, house concerts, entertaining, running half marathons. I don't know who would find that enjoyable, but if that's what you like to do, run half marathons, join a choir, a soccer team, volunteer, find what fills your tank and do that. And I don't think that that's being selfish. I think that's being a good steward of the life that we've been given. My fifth point is to find a good balance of enjoying a no kids budget, but also building financial security. If you're waiting for a husband with a good job, there might come a time when you will be very limited in what you can do as a single person because you haven't built in any financial security, but you also want to enjoy the blessings that God has given you, which kind of leads me to my next point, that when God lays it on your heart, you should give. And single people don't often think of this because usually church is presented as your family. What can your family give? And we never put ourselves in a family. That never registers to us that we are our own family unit. And so I have learned that I can never, ever, ever, ever outgive God. When he lays it on my heart to give, there's always a double blessing. That verse in Old Testament that says, where God says, try me, put me to the test, and see if I don't pour you out a blessing so full that your hands can't even hold it. And so that has been something that I have learned as a single person that has been a blessing to me, is to give. And then my last little thing, I could have written 100 things here, but my last little thing for single people is to not look at this time as waiting time. The church has conditioned us to see this time of our lives as waiting. It is not. This is your life. Look at each day as your life and then live your life. So that's my sermonette right there for single people.
Well, I love that. And I love that because there's so much in there for the non-single people too that is very helpful for all of us.